Hello and welcome to my new video. I'm Dennis and for today I thought I would like to make a new type of video. So today I don't have a news video like usual, but a recommendation. 3 recommendations to be exact. What I mean by that is that I would like to recommend you 3 manga titles I personally enjoyed reading and think you should give them a try. I tried to pick 3 different types of manga to make sure there is at the very least one among them that you might enjoy. However, the 3 shows I picked are all still ongoing and relatively new ones, so chances are that you might have already heard about them. Anyway, I decided to talk about these shows as a test run, so I might do more of this kind of videos in the future, depending on the reception, which means that if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And now, without further ado, let's start with the recommendations. My first recommendation is a fantasy battle shonen called Orient. Orient started in 2018 and is a manga about a world called Hinomoto, which was once a human world. But that ended when the mysterious life form called Kishin or Oni suddenly arrived. Everyone that tried to fight against them was killed. However, there were some that continued to fight these Kishins. These fighters were known as Bushi. Even now, 150 years later, the Bushi are still fighting so they can save the world from these evil monsters. However, as time goes by, the world goes crazy. Humans are ruled by these Oni and worship them as protective deities. Bushis are regarded as villains, who used violence and corruption to put people through a living hell. The main characters, Musashi and Kojiro, are living in a town that worships the Onis. Kojiro comes from a family related to Bushis. He and his best friend were told the truth about the Oni and the Bushi, and they aspire to become the greatest Bushi ever. And that is basically what the story is about. I mean, yes, I could still say more about the Bushi, the world and the Kishins, but I don't want to go further into details to avoid spoilers. I do, however, still want to say a few things about this manga. You might think that the main characters resemble the ones in a different fantasy title, right? Well, let me assure you that that is very likely, as the creator of Orient is the same as Magis. And if you are familiar with her work, then you know that she is very good at world building, and that she likes to bring politics into her work. Why would I recommend Orient? Because it is an adventure story with a slow build, and an intriguing story to boot. Bushis try to save the world, but everybody hates them. The art style is exceptional during the fight scenes and incredibly detailed, as you can see from these pictures. My second recommendation is a rom-com series called Horimiya. It's a manga that follows Hori and Miyamura. Hori is a popular and gorgeous girl at school, while Miyamura is a quiet and eyeglasses wearing boy. However, both find out that their appearance at school are not as they seem, as it turns out that Hori is a laid-back family girl and Miyamura is a handsome young man covered in piercing and tattoos. These seemingly polar opposites become friends, sharing with each other a side they have never shown to anyone else. And there is really not much more going on. Now, why would I recommend Horimiya? Simply said, the characters are funny and likable. We get introduced to a lot of side characters as well. And what I really like about this manga is that relationships actually develop. And the side characters are not only there to support the main cast, but they have their own lives which we get to see. So overall, this might seem like your average rom-com series, but it has its own unique twists. What I want to say is, if you don't just read manga to see fantastic stories that are impossible in real life, but also like manga about everyday events and realistic characters, then start reading Horimiya. And my last manga recommendation for today is my personal favorite out of these 3. It's a fantasy story called Fumetsu no Anata from Yoshitoki Oima, whom you probably know from her work on Koe no Katachi, which got a movie adaptation on which I did a review. Click on the eye above my head to see the video. And at this point I would normally talk about the story, but this is a bit difficult, since it is a very unique story and I don't want to take anything away from its appeal. It's basically about a mysterious immortal being that is sent to the earth with no emotions nor identity. However, it is able to take the shape of things that are around it. At first it is a sphere, then it imitates the form of a rock. As temperature drops and snow falls, it transforms into moss. When an injured lone wolf comes limping by and lays down to die, it takes the form of this animal. Finally, it gains consciousness and begins to travel until it meets a boy. And I really want to talk more about the story of this manga as I think it is fantastic, but I can't do that for spoiler reasons. I would recommend you to just read the first chapter and see for yourself. If you like the first chapter, continue reading. If you don't, then stop. All you have to know is that it's a very unique story and has a lot of fascinating characters. Now, why would I recommend Fumetsu no Anata to you? Simply said, it's the story. Out of the 3 manga I've talked about today, this is easily the most unique one. The art style might not be the best, but it has its own unique charm and adds to the feelings of the story. And these are my 3 recommendations to you. I hope there is at the very least one manga among them that has piqued your interest. And if you have already read some of them, let me know your opinion in the comment section. Also, what do you think about this video? Would you like more manga or anime recommendations? If so, then hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Also, check out some of my other content. I'm Dennis, and as always, thanks for watching and I hope to see you again. Bye!